Just because it was the last day of the conference doesn't mean we let our delegates take it easy. This morning's CE program was jam-packed with critical information on topics including hypertension, women's reproductive health, mental illness, and more. We closed out this year's conference over lunch and an inspiring closing keynote address from Dr. B.J. Miller, who advocates for a healthcare system that minimizes unnecessary suffering and maximizes quality of life. Take a look.
We need to engage with patients with hypertension, practice the full scope of practice. We need to advocate to get advance in the scope of practice so that pharmacists have more tools to work with these patients, and then we're going to see the benefits.
It's collaboration with the physicians, and it's education of the public at large. That's the big part.
We were talking about the really important role that pharmacists can play in hypertension. We think this is a vision for the future where we can make an actual difference in hypertension control rates using pharmacists helping in a shared care, team-based intervention.
One of the messages that we want is that we should be using the most effective contraceptive method. So using long-acting reversible contraceptives such as the IUDs, like the lumogestrel IUDs, because they are as effective as permanent contraception. So we should be really encouraging our women to be using those.
Emergency contraception is another really important area, and Plan B is much less effective than it was thought to be originally, and so ulipristal or Ella or copper IUDs now are really the ones that should be top of mind. The other issue is really around mifegammiso, and there's so much that pharmacists can do to provide advice to the patients and provide them with information that helps them through the process so they understand what's going to happen and other analgesics that they might want to take.
Lots of information that was provided, everything from the proper use of combined hormonal contraceptives right up to the new medical abortive pill, mifegammiso. So very, very informative and very timely. I think women's health should certainly be on the forefront for pharmacists, as we are, of course, the most accessible healthcare provider.
Where you want them to be, and the next best thing is to add.
It was really meant to be a practical approach to how we can think about providing comprehensive pharmaceutical care services to patients living with chronic mental illness, and really trying to get pharmacists to really think about how they can engage this population in different ways to provide meaningful impact around medication therapy.
Beaucoup d'informations sur l'adhérence aux médicaments. En fait, ça va nous donner des trucs sur comment intervenir auprès des patients pour essayer d'améliorer l'adhésion.
We're going to see the patients more often than their physicians will, so we need to know what they're going through. We need to understand the experiences, not necessarily just the side effects of medication or the effectiveness, but what they're actually going through when they're being treated and when they're having problems with the medications.
For pharmacists, we're looking at this as an opportunity. They have very specific and unique expertise with medications, and because the models are changing so much, there's really an interest in bringing healthcare providers in to be part of the team and contribute their expertise.
The biggest takeaway for me is that often as pharmacists, we don't fully appreciate the value that we can bring, and I think participating in sessions like this helps remind us of the kinds of things that we're already doing, and we need to sort of be bold and not be afraid to step up and communicate.
He just was really compassionate, really authentic, and just normal. And it was really, really refreshing to see that side of like a physician speaking that way, and how much we could gain from that.
C'est pas un sujet qu'on entend, qu'on approche souvent, c'est un sujet difficile. Puis je crois qu'il l'a vraiment rendu très approchable et comprenable pour que tout le monde puisse incorporer son message dans leur pratique.
Voilà, c'est ainsi que se termine le Congrès des pharmaciens du Canada 2017. Nous remercions notre partenaire, l'Association des facultés de pharmacie du Canada, d'avoir contribué à l'organisation de l'édition 2017, ainsi que nos conférenciers, nos commanditaires, nos exposants et nos délégués, qui ont célébré les 400 ans de la pharmacie au Canada en s'inspirant du passé pour bâtir l'avenir avec nous, ici même à Québec. Nous espérons vous revoir l'an prochain dans la fabuleuse ville de Fredericton, au Nouveau-Brunswick.